While Matthew and Diana return to Sept-Tours with the twins, Benjamin's plans to bring down the Clermonts is set into motion. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve from Valhartv, and today I'll be reviewing Discovery of Witches Season 3, Episode 5. So we begin with Timothy's funeral, where Diana and Agatha talk about keeping the twins safe and what to really do next, because Knox is still on the loose. And they pretty much figured that it was him who ended up deleting Timothy to try to get to the page before Diana did. So we really get this whole dynamic that he's still out there and we don't know what he's going to do next. I think that's really cool. And then we go to good old Gerbert, man, who... This guy is so bent on keeping power and gaining it, like making himself the head of everything, that he's feels threatened by a couple of babies. And he starts to plan their deletion. I mean, this is crazy good, you know. This guy is like, we don't know what powers they have. We don't know if they're vampire or witch. You know, we need to assess this and then just get rid of them because any threat to, you know, our rule, he says our rule, but it's his rule, must be eliminated. And I was like, dude, wow. I was like, these are just newborns. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, that's crazy. And Baldwin, he's like, I'll support you, but when he's like, Benjamin comes in, he's kind of like, you know, like, I feel like he looked like he was like, oh, what have I got myself into type thing. But he's not with Gerbert on killing his brother's kids, you know? So he's like, I'll go and take a visit and see for myself, but he's like, these might be drastic measures, you know, and Gerbert doesn't care. He's just like, we're going to eliminate this, and we're going to eliminate your brother, everybody, and dude, it was so good, because just the fact that Baldwin was like, oh, man, what did I get myself into? Just that look, that's kind of the impression I got from him, so I thought that was cool. You know, but then, you know, when we get back there, there's the christening. Like, they invite everybody in the scion that they are creating to this christening of baby Philip and Rebecca. So we actually get to learn their names. And I think it's very sweet what they did about naming them after their father and their, Matthew's father and her mother. You know, so I thought that was really cool. And this is really kind of an act of war against the council, because the council is forbidden like this interspecies, you know, marriage type thing. And this is really like an act of war against the council. And that doesn't sit well with Gerbert, of course, and some of the others. And they are like, well, you know, you bring the babies to us and we'll decide what to do with them. And they're like, no, that's not how this works. And, you know, and this is probably one of the best parts about the episode, because we get some really good dialogue in this episode all the way through it. I mean, it's really good. But we also get a really good fight scene between Matthew and Baldwin, and Diane even steps up and uses her powers, and she's really angry, and it just, you know, if Baldwin hadn't done what he did, it would have ended badly. So this is really great. And, of course, Benjamin continues to be the wild card in all of this, though. You know, he's a threat that's been lurking in the shadows for much of this season. Like, we actually even see him kidnap a witch in Germany, I believe it is. I'm pretty sure it's Germany. And takes her and, like, puts these messages in her to go and find Matthew and Diana. So we're really trying to figure out what he's doing. But there's also another girl where he's at, it sounds like. So I was, you know, I'm like, wow, this dude's like really bad, you know. I'm like, that's kind of cool and stuff. And this episode ends with the Knights of Lazarus ceremony and Matthew preparing to go after Benjamin alone too, which Diana's really kind of opposed to. So I was very surprised about that. I thought that was very interesting and stuff. So the effects in this I thought were really good. They didn't really have a lot of them in it. It just was the fight scene between Matthew and Baldwin where Diana starts using her powers again and everything starts to kind of crack and stuff. The way they did that I thought was pretty good. The rest of it was practical effects and it was good. The sets looked beautiful. Where they held the christening was really beautiful looking. I really liked that. Again, the acting, oh man, this is so hard to judge because everybody played a really good part in this. I do like the fact that Baldwin, once he sees Benjamin is working with Gerbert, he's kind of like, oh man, and we do get to see Sept-Tours briefly in this, so I had no issues with that. But yeah, just the fact that I think Benjamin kind of stood out more in this one than anybody, though, because of the fact that he showed how maniacal he is. It was good, especially when he kidnapped the girl, the other witch there, and then there was another one there, and he's delighting in torturing them. I was like, dude, this guy's got to go. I'm like, dang, that's like really bad. So I did like that. Now, with Diana's promise to Baldwin, the Scion is actually approved and completed. Baldwin goes back to the council to relay what has happened. And we even get to learn something very interesting about the twins, which I actually really liked the way they did this. So I really did like that in this episode. So what will happen next once Gerbert finds out what Baldwin has done? And will Matthew be able to defeat Benjamin when he finally confronts him? So these things we'll all have to stay tuned for because it's actually getting kind of good. Like, I'm really digging this, and I believe Diana's going to start going after the book of life soon. She has to because she has all 3 pages. So we'll have to stay tuned. I would give this at least an 8.5 out of 10. This was a good episode again. A little bit slower. Had to build a little more stuff. There was a really good action scene in it, so I had no issues with this one. I really enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. And if you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and subscribe. Take care for now, everyone.